Fred Taylor bring you highlights and analysis from today's game. Jaguars Postgame is brought to you by Baptist Health, Farah and Farah, and by Everbank. Now, to get things started, here's JP Shadrick.
All right, welcome in, everybody. No JP, no Fred T, just a victory in London for your Jacksonville Jaguars, who improved to 3-2. Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith here with you in the Hyundai Studios back in Jacksonville. Before we get to all the post-game festivities, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jacksonville Jaguars radio network. Another great day for the Jaguar defense, particularly in the first half, and it was enough to hang on. The offense made key plays when they had to, and they come away with a 25-20 win. Tony, we said it this week kind of leading into this game. You know, if they win this game, you're probably right where a lot of Jaguar fans thought they would be. It's just that you expected a victory over the Houston Texans and maybe thought, all right, maybe we'll drop one to the Buffalo Bills, but the Jags play this Buffalo Bills team exceedingly well, and they come away with another victory today. And really, again, for the fourth time in 5 games, the defense showed up big.
The defense has been so good through the first 5 weeks of the season. It's hard to explain why the Houston game played out the way that it did, right? It was a really bad week for the defense, and really that game was as much about a couple of plays where they just lost track of what they were doing, right, against that Texans team. It doesn't matter. They lost that game. They lost that game big. It hasn't sunk them, right? They go to London. I actually think being there this week helped them to not feel the energy of the city after a win against Atlanta last week. Did it feel like a victory week to you? After they beat the Falcons, it felt like at least they didn't lose. That's more the feeling I got from Jaguars fans this week. Was
like a week of relief as opposed to celebration.
Yeah,
right?
It didn't feel like a victory week, but this week you better believe it's going to feel like a victory week in Jacksonville.
You know, last week the offense sputtered, and they scored 16 points offensively, and you won, and you're like, Atlanta didn't look so hot, and look what we're having to face now. The trip is not done. We're not back home yet. And you had the Buffalo Bills, who, by the way, were coming off one of the most impressive wins of the season when you consider what Miami was coming off last week. Miami had scored 70 points 2 weeks ago. Buffalo made a statement and basically said, look, we're still the big dog in the AFC East. They won 48-20, firing on all cylinders offensively. Holding this Miami team to 20 is an outstanding defensive performance. You know, tied for the league lead in sacks. And granted, you know, you didn't have all your pieces today for the Buffalo Bills, but A.J. Epinesa, who would not have played nearly as much today if Greg Rousseau was healthy, at least you wouldn't suspect, had a huge game.
Yes, he did.
So I don't think they necessarily even missed Rousseau today because Epinesa's impact was so big in the pass rush.
Well, going into the season, we thought if the two big issues could be for this football team, right, was pass rush, will they be able to get enough with Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker, and the offensive line, how good or bad is it actually going to be by the time we get into it? There was some excitement in the city this week with Cam Robinson coming back. You're moving Walker a little inside. Well, that goes out the window early with him having to leave the game with the injury. We'll be checking on that, obviously, as we go through the week this week as far as his availability for the Colts game, which is a big one, obviously, in the division coming back home next week. But those questions, the offensive line's still a question. Right? The defense, the pressure, I think, is still a question for this football team, but they're forcing turnovers, and the real issue was third downs, catch the ball when it hits your hand, right? It was this idea of be more efficient with what you're doing on offense. Today was a really efficient day on the offensive side of the football.
All right, Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's send it back to London. Right now is our own Bucky Brooks standing by with Travis Etienne. Bucky.
Trav, big win today. Look, you come to London, you get back-to-back wins. How important was this for the team to get it done?
It was very important, man. Just coming off those 2 losses. I remember before we left, coach was like, we need to go out there and just get our mind right. Just get away and just focus and lock in with each other. And we came here and that's what we did. And to come out here and get those 2 victories was very, it's a confidence booster for us. And just going back forward, understanding it's just 2 weeks, but we got to play this week in and week out, and just understand that it's still early in the season. We got to continue to grow and get better at things, and watch film and put things to bed, and continue to just keep working.
So Coach kind of talked about this being maybe like a mini training camp where you guys could get away from all the distractions. The team could bond together. How did you guys kind of get together? Because it was just you guys over here.
Mm-hmm. We had no choice. We were our own entertainment. We just went to work, went to practice, and after that it was like in London, like we stay like far, so everything was far, and like everything's an hour away. So we just kind of hung out with each other, and we did that all week, and just kind of build that bond, and just you could just see it was different kind of focus week in and week out, and everybody was just locked in and just knew we was here for business, and I feel like that really helped us set that mindset, that tone.
Okay, so how do you take that when you go back to Jacksonville? How do you continue to take that business-like approach and make sure that the things that y'all accomplish here you can do when you get back?
Just keep taking it one day at a time. Just understanding that it's a week-by-week business, but it's day by day. Understanding that what we do on that Monday is going to help us on that Sunday. So just keep taking it day by day, and understanding that just sticking together, understanding that things don't change just because we have success. Just stick to the same process as we was if we was on those 2 losses.
So last thing, it seems like the running game has started to be a big part. You getting more touches, more carries. Seems like you and that offensive line a little more confident when we try and run the ball.
Just sticking with it, honestly. Just sticking with it, and just understanding that the defensive team get paid to play football too. Understanding that they're great players over there too. They're going to make plays, but just kind of staying within the scheme, not branching off, not trying to do my own thing, not trying to play outside of the scheme. Just doing what Coach called and trusting it, and just understanding at the right time to make those calculated risks.
Look, man, we appreciate it. It's been a great couple weeks. Get back-to-back wins, get to go home and see if we can get another one next weekend.
Oh, yes, sir, man. I'm so excited to get back home. I miss my bed.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, there you go. There's Bucky Brooks with Travis Etienne. 26 carries, 136 on the ground, 5.2 yards per carry with the 2 rushing touchdowns. Caught 4 of his 5 targets for another 48 yards. A massive game for the Jaguars starting tailback. We're just getting started here. 25-20, the Jaguars finish off the Buffalo Bills today to improve to 3-2 on the season and have a joyous plane ride home in their future, as we'll hear from Doug Peterson coming up and a whole lot more. 25-20, the Jaguars knock off the Bills. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning today. Get up to $1,750 back and a free Nest thermostat when Florida Home buys back your old inefficient HVAC system. Expert technicians and flexible payment options are great reasons to call Florida Home today. Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
Don't make a bad call when it comes to servicing your home. Cooling off with a baby pool in the house to fix your air conditioning problem is a bad call. Trying to catch a wave in a flooded bathroom is a bad call. Using a burning electrical panel to make s'mores is a bad call. The next time something goes wrong, make a good call to Donovan.
Whether you need air, electric, or plumbing service, Donovan is always a good call. It's why we've been trusted by our customers for almost 40 years and why you can trust us to deliver fast, reliable service to your home. Donovan, always a good call.
Visit DonovanAC.com today.
Hear that? That's the sound of the 2023 Chevy Silverado's 2.7-liter high-output turbo engine, delivering 430 pounds per foot of torque with no compromised durability. Impressive power, whether you're helping friends move or just moving some friends.
Thanks!
This is the sound of a family with plenty of rear seat room to enjoy the ride. And most importantly, this is the sound of you heading to your local Chevy dealer today for a test drive. Find your Silverado and find new roads. Chevrolet.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith here with you from the Hyundai Studios. And the Jags win it today 25-20 over the Buffalo Bills. Really dominated them for large portions of this game. Tony, I think one of the things we talked about how well the defense played, I think one of the keys was, particularly in the first half, the tackling was almost pristine. I mean, when a Jaguar defender got to a Bills ball carrier, that guy made the play and basically didn't give up any extra yardage. I'm sure there are a few occasions where they fought through an arm tackle and picked up a few extra yards. But in the first half, I mean, guys were coming up flying, sticking guys, and it mattered because the Jags were doing a really good job defensively on third down. So some of those plays that you're like, it's no big deal. It's 3rd and short. They're going to convert it. Well, they didn't convert it. So again, defense all around today, just making plays. You'd like to see a little bit more pressure. Certainly, but I just thought just a solid performance, and I thought tackling was a big part of that.
Yeah, I think the pressure thing, for the most part, they are who they are, right? As far as their ability to get pressure or not get pressure, it is what it is right now with this Jacksonville Jaguars team. Josh Allen, if they're going to get pressure, it's because Josh Allen has a day where he's creating pressure, right? Because you could see it even several times in this game. He had the sack that got overturned by what looked like a pretty bogus penalty when everything is said and done. But it gets overturned. It doesn't kill him today. They still wind up winning the football game. But Josh Allen, even a couple times when he was winning and getting a pass rush, there's no push in the middle. Josh Allen's an athletic enough guy that if one guy's winning, going around the outside, he takes 2 steps forward, it's done. Right? It doesn't matter that Josh Allen wins on that rep, and it does feel like that's where the pass rush is out at this point. But something we saw throughout the preseason, and it's carried over into the regular season, is exactly what you're talking about. They tackle really well so far here in 2023. The pass rush isn't any better than I think we all thought it was going to be. There are other aspects of the defense that have been. Right? They do tackle really well. They're still forcing bunches of turnovers, it seems like. You got 11 in 5 games now. That's a really good job on that side of the ball, and they do get pressure at some key times. They did that today. They did get pressure at key times, but you're right. They tackled exceptionally well today, and it's not like there were a bunch of Buffalo players that got the ball, made somebody miss, and then went long.
No.
If they got big yards, it's because they caught it for long yards.
Or there was a blown coverage. Right?
Yeah.
They had a few of those, and they had a couple where guys like Tyson Campbell missed a jam on the Stephon Diggs touchdown.
Yeah.
Things like that. I mean, there were mistakes. They didn't play flawless football, but they're playing so much better than we anticipated them playing through 5 games of the season. And I think it's fair to think that aspect of the areas that we're talking about can be maintained. They can keep that up. There's no reason you can't be a good tackling team going forward. You're not always going to get pressure week in, week out. But can you do the fundamental things right? And that's been a big key to their success. And they really – look, we talked about this week, and other people threw stats at us like, hey, Buffalo's running the ball more than they used to. We know this Buffalo team.
Yeah.
This Buffalo team doesn't care about running the football. And yes, some of their rushing numbers this year had looked better. The Jags took them right out of any inclination to run the football today. James Cook, their starting tailback, had -4 yards rushing on 5 carries. They only gave him 5 attempts on the day. Damian Harris and Latavius Murray combined for another 5 and managed 19 yards. So you got 15 yards on 10 carries for the Buffalo Bills tailbacks. Josh Allen didn't really hurt you. He did score the rushing touchdown, but 4 carries for 14 yards. We know this guy can easily roll out. Somebody turns their back on him. He can rip off 30, 35 yards in a hurry, and they got nothing to speak of. 29 yards total, including Allen's scrambles. That's a total that's almost hard to believe.
Well, on a day where the Jaguars missed out on a couple of scoring opportunities because of a couple fumbles, right? You had Cam Robinson get absolutely destroyed on a play when they were in easy field goal range. It turns into a Trevor Lawrence fumble. Buffalo recovers it going into the half. So they give away 3 points there, at least. Who knows what happens if he actually gets the ball out of his hand. It's not out of the realm of possibility. He throws a touchdown, right? In that moment, then you have Trevor with the second fumble. They're in field goal range again, so they give away 6 points in the ball game today. It's that everything else on the offensive side outside of those 2 plays, I thought they did really, really well. We've talked so much about third downs today. They had a drive today where they converted a 3rd and 11, a 3rd and 7, and 2 3rd-and-1s on the same drive. Right now, it ended in that the second Trevor Lawrence fumble. It's a 17-play drive that ends in that fumble. But 11-7-1-1. Who would have bet that this Jaguars team, with what we've seen from them through the first month, would have that situation and go 4 for 4 on third down there?
And it allowed their defense to stay rested.
Yeah.
It allowed Buffalo less time to mount their comeback. And really, 2 more minutes in this game could have been a completely different story.
For sure.
Right? But all those first downs along the way, you're able to reset the downs, able to grind out another minute and a half, even if you're not getting a first down in the ensuing set. So it all kind of came together, and it's so really fortunate for the Jags, for Trevor Lawrence, that they did win this game because, the narrative would have been, but, ball security.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, and I thought Trevor Lawrence today, you and I were both remarking as we were watching it together, threw some of the most confident passes we've seen him throw. And look, he's a confident guy with a big arm, but he was throwing lasers.
Yeah, that 3rd and 11
today.
was woof.
I mean, we're just shaking our head at some of the balls that he was putting on receivers' hands, and just incredible velocity, tight spirals, and just such confidence, and it was great to see. And you knew how much, particularly that second fumble, really bothered him. You could see that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that didn't be wasn't the thing that came back to haunt them on this day, because Trevor Lawrence played way, way too well to have an L hung on his ledger with a 102.9 quarterback rating. By the way, Josh Allen on the other side ended up with a 102 quarterback rating.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have known it.
Had a really good fourth quarter.
Our goal obviously is 1-0 each week. Started last week, against the Falcons, and we found a way to win that one, and then against a really good, hot Bills team, today, and then found a way again. Great team effort, but definitely feels good. Still a lot of football ahead of us, but we accomplished our immediate goal, and that was to win 2 games over here. Pretty much. I mean, this is a real physical football game. That's a great team over there, well-coached team. We knew going in it was going to be physical, high-powered offense, all those types of things, great defense, and we were just going to have to sustain. My hat's off really to the offensive line, our run game, especially in the second half. Press Taylor for sticking with the run, and our skill guys making plays when they needed to. And then listen, defense. Just stepped up big, I think, all day. The forced punts, obviously the Darius Williams interception, the fumble at the end of the game, special teams. So everybody had a hand in it. Very pleased, very proud of our guys. Go ahead, Gene.
Could you talk a little bit about, even despite the fumbles that Trevor did have today, could you talk about his toughness and getting some really clutch sideline throws to Ridley as well?
Yeah, Trevor played extremely tough today and physical, and he's done that all season. He's done that before. Obviously, a great leader that way, and he does what it takes, to win that down. And he had to use his legs today. He played physical as well. It's a couple weeks in a row.
At the end after the game, I saw you pumping the fist to the crowd. I'm assuming it was somebody you knew.
My wife and my friends that were sitting up there. The only 5 people I had here.
You don't normally always pump your fist after a game. I just wondering, did this game, this opponent?
You don't follow me very much then.
Did it feel like there was extra juice added to this win?
I think that listen, these games are emotional, man. They're hard fought. Both teams are straining. The players are straining. Guys are putting their bodies on the line, and coaches, and the whole thing. And obviously, we're not out there playing, but we're part of it, and we feel it, and we feel the emotion. And it's okay to let your emotion and your, everything show every now and then. And I know I try to keep things in too much, but maybe I should show that emotion a little bit more. But I was very proud of our guys, the way they hung in there, for 60 minutes in this football game. So I'll fist pump after every one of those.
Can you talk about the 32-yard completion on 3rd down and 6 from Trevor when he threw the ball up there? Cam wasn't there. The pressure was coming. I mean, that seemed as big a play as any in the entire game.
It's the offense, it's Trevor, it's Cal, it's everybody being on the same page. It's our offensive staff preparing our guys for situations like that. Mike McCoy having Trevor ready in those situations to make that call, to see the blitz, to audible the route. Great throw, great catch. We needed it to really, maybe not ice the game, but at least help us win this football game.
It seemed from about 6 minutes left in the second quarter that the Bills were surging, that they were grabbing momentum. Previous Jaguars teams wouldn't have held it off. What happened today? What was the mindset that kept them in it, and they had an answer for everything the Bills had?
I think it's just a credit to the players. Defense has the offense's back. Offense has the defense's back. Special teams, both, and I just think that's where the difference was with the players. And offensive struggles in the second quarter. We missed opportunities to kick some field goals. We took points off the board, which we can't do. But defense went out there and held them to 7 points in the first half and really did an outstanding job. And again, credit the players. They really understood this type of game. We as a team, I think, are figuring out, that we're very capable of winning these types of games. And this is a step in that direction.
What does it mean for this organization to come over here, have this historic trip, and come out of this with 2 victories, and in a lot of ways change your early season where this year might go?
I think it's big. It's big for our organization. It's big. We came over here 1-2, and we're going back 3-2. But again, listen, it's 2 ball games. It's 1 ball game, whatever it might be. We're 5 in. We've got plenty of football ahead of us. A lot of work ahead of us. We got this travel, kind of a short week. But it is. It's great to come over here because we have a lot of fans here. The organization, our owner, Mr. Khan. Obviously, we all enjoy coming here. We spent 10 days here. 2 great places, the Grove and Hanbury Manor, were outstanding for us, and just proud of our entire organization and our team for how we handled it.
Can you update the injuries? Zay Jones.
Zay, I don't know Zay specifically yet. I think it's still the same injury he had from a couple weeks ago, so we'll see where he's at. Walker Little, I believe just a knee at this point, but I don't have any further updates until probably we get back to the States and do some more investigation there. Cam was an elbow. I think he's going to be fine as we go. Calvin obviously got hit the one time in the head. He went through the whole protocol on the sideline, was checked out clear, and went back in the game. So, and Trevor was just cramping late in the game. We had a couple of that. We got warm down there on that turf and everything. So, other than that, I think we came out okay.
We spoke about the fans last week. And
we spoke about
the fans last week. Now it's a mixed crowd. Did it feel a lot more like a natural road game this week?
100%. Bills Mafia was full effect today. They had a great fan base. It did feel like a road game for us, and our guys handled the crowd noise extremely well. We had to mix up some of our cadences, go between normal vocal cadences and silent cadences throughout the game, and again, guys handled that well.
What was your take on the roughing the passer call late in the fourth quarter? I felt that was quite a harsh decision. What was your take on that late in the game, that roughing the passer?
Yeah, it's hard for me to express any opinion right now until I really look at the film, look at the TV copy, and then I can make a better assessment of that. Obviously, it's a flag, it's a foul during the game. We've got to be more aware of that, obviously, and coach that a little bit better. But until I really evaluate those, it's hard to make a comment at this time.
Coach, everyone's been talking about the offense, and I've noticed in a few answers today you're keen to talk about defense. The Bills have scored 35 points 3 games in a row. So really impressive for you to keep it to 20. How impressed? I know you've already touched upon it, but it'd be great for you to elaborate. I think your defense played outstanding today. But
listen, our defense 2 weeks in a row. My hat's off, Mike Caldwell, and the staff. Just the way they've prepared our players, the way the players have embraced the game plans, the way they practice during the week, and then go out and play, the physical style that they're capable of playing. It's just really things are beginning to kind of gel for them, as a unit, and creating takeaways, obviously. And, again, this is 2 weeks in a row. They did it last week at Atlanta, kind of keeping the offense in the game, and then again today, keeping the offense sort of in the game. Just a great performance by our defense.
Coach, the Bills, at least at the beginning, seemed pretty flat. Do you feel like you had a little bit of an advantage having been here for the week prior?
It's hard to speak for them, obviously, but I know our guys were in really good position health-wise. They felt energetic. They felt good to be here. Ask me that question in 7 days after we go back. It's a challenge. That's the next challenge for us, right, with the time change going back and all that. But I did feel like our guys were ready to go, and the 10 days over here were good for us.
Go to United States, and that it's better for the players and for you as a coach?
I think it's relatively safe to say that we'll probably each year play 2 games over here. I don't know that. I don't have a crystal ball. I hope the rest of the league, plays 2 games over here at some point. But again, it was good for us, and it was good to get out of Jacksonville at that time. We needed to, I think, bond a little bit as a football team, and we've done that, and now we get to go back with 2 wins, and we got a big AFC South matchup next week.
Why did you choose to play the game next week? Because you could have a bye week, but you probably chose to
yeah, we're still so early in the season after 5 games to take the bye this early, and it's a long season, a lot of football left, and so I feel like if you can push your bye towards the middle of the year, it might benefit you. But I'll do my part, to help our team recover this week coming up, and but yet still making sure that they're prepared mentally for the Colts next weekend.
You've been here for 10 days. How has that helped you to bond more as a team?
I think we're in the hotel together. We're seeing each other down the hallways. We're walking to practice together. The players are together. They're going to dinners during the night. They're hanging out during the week. Coaches are doing the same thing. It's just, it just keeps guys closer, right? And you kind of get to know people a little bit more, and so that's positive, right? That's positive when you can do that. And I encourage the players to be around each other as much as possible. Go grab dinner, or if they wanted to go swimming, they go swimming, or whatever it might be at the hotel. And it just it keeps them close, and that's what we're going to need, as the season progresses.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
We've got Calvin Ridley right here, coming right in, so hang tight. Having 2 fumbles and not letting, gaps like that bite him when you guys needed him in the second half.
Yeah, he's more than ready for those big moments. I mean, we trust Trevor no matter what. He's going to make the right read, he's going to do the right thing at the right time. And closer to the end of the game, you seen, he made some good plays, some great throws, and some good checks, and put us in a position to win.
Is this about when you thought you'd have a rapport with him? I mean, it seemed today like you guys were on the same page at a different level than you were on opening day.
Yeah, I mean, we practice no matter what. If it's 2 targets a game, we practice like it's 10 targets a game. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely have the chemistry. We're ready to make the plays and do whatever we got to do to help the team win. And today, coach was calling my number, and I was trying to make the plays, and Trevor, he was making some great throws.
And can you talk about the 32-yard completion on 3rd down and 6 and just how that went down?
Yeah, they went 0. I mean, they put a safety on me. And honestly, I think we were running it, I don't know. But Trevor checked it. He seen the safety on me. He gave me a good check, and we made a big play.
How do you feel about the London spirit and the fact of playing in Europe for you? What makes the difference between playing in Jacksonville and being here with the BS Mafia?
The difference, I think, is not that hot. It's hot, very hot in Jacksonville. Get some good weather here. It's just a different scenery. We all, the whole team, we stayed in a hotel together. You know, we went down to London. We hung out together. I think we just hung out more with each other and, you know, bonding real well. And I just felt it all week that, you know, especially this week, you know, versus the Bills. I knew they had a good team, but the way the week was going, I just knew that I think we're gonna win this game for sure. I mean,
this last 10 days feel a little bit like a second version of camp where you guys could get together, meet with each other, spend time together.
Kinda. It was kind of like that. You know, we kind of didn't try to make it. We tried to just make it business. We knew the 10 days was. We didn't know what to expect. This is my first time over here. I honestly, me personally, I love the 10 days. I love coming out here. I thought, you know, it was great for me. I was to get away from Jacksonville, to come out here and see a different city. I'd never been here. I had a blast here, honestly.
Alvin, this was the third most yards ever in a game for you in your career.
I'm sorry?
Your third highest receiving yards in any game of your career. Already the second time already this season you've had 100 yards or more in a game. Do you feel we born in Jacksonville with Trevor Lawrence throwing you the ball? Do you feel like this is your best season ever so far in your career potentially?
I'm still working. How about that? I'm still working, man. I thought I was really good, but I'm still trying to get better. I'm getting better. How about that? I'm in my 6th year and I'm still getting better. I think that's something good to say.
On a personal level, obviously you're on a new team, but it seems like there's a real fire in your belly to prove yourself. Because you're going up against the Bills, who everyone's been talking about all week, scoring a lot of points. How satisfying is it for you on a personal level to contribute the way you did today and beat, such a juggernaut in the AFC?
I'm not like, I really don't care about the stats and everything. I really just want to win because, we work hard. We practice all week. I run a lot during the week, you know what I'm saying? So to come out there, run around, catch some passes, but the goal is to win the game. Coach, he said it. Before we came out here, he said we're coming here to win 2 games, and that's what we did. So, getting the dubs are the main goal.
You came here play with a 1-2 record. You go out Europe 3-2. How do you feel that the team has played here in Europe, and how do you go back to Jacksonville now?
Right. I think we played pretty good. Obviously, we could, it could be better. We wanted to be, we want to be the best offense and the best, all phases teams, defense, special teams. But I think we played good. We played, the first team, the Falcons, a really good team. We came here, got a dub against them. We obviously played, Josh Allen and the Bills, and got a dub. But we need to go back and, enjoy the win tonight on the plane. But get our minds back right, have another great week of practice. That's what we've been doing. We've been, the leaders on the team. We've been gathering, and everything's been going right how we want it, and get better each and every week.
Calvin, how are you feeling physically?
Physically, I'm sore, but my body's strong. I work out every week. I'm gonna be ready to do it again next week.
Just to make sure you are one of the leaders of the team.
You're not here that long. I just got here, so I'm working my way up the ranks. How about that?
Before at the end of the game, was that a verbal communication or was that a hand signal in terms of there comes 0, you're lined up with Micah High? How does that come across between Trevor?
Yeah, Trevor, they lined up in empty, and Trevor looked at me and gave me a signal, and I ran what he gave me. Yep, I was just staring at him like, what are we gonna do? What do you want to do? And he gave me something, and we made a great. He made a great throw.
Thanks, Cal.
Thank y'all.
You win during your week of preparation, and we've had a couple good weeks of preparation, and none greater than this week, obviously. We were here for 10 days. We were, Hanbury Manor and working there, but watching our defense and the communication and how they work together.
One of your best games right now in the season and in your NFL career. How do you feel that being here in London 10 days has helped the team and you to be with Lawrence and with all the offense?
It helped us to be locked in and focused. I feel like we came out here, we was focused, and just being out here all week, I felt like we was acclimated to everything, and we was able to come out here and just keep the main thing, and just go out there and play free.
Perhaps can you talk about having an answer for the Bills every time they had a little surge there? About 6 minutes in the second quarter, they were starting to take control, but every time they did, you guys had an answer.
It's just us being resilient. We have to just go in there and do our job each and every play. We got to find a way to kind of stop stalling out at times, but we answered the bell every time they run it. So that's what you got to do as an NFL team, and we were able to do that. And it's to play great teams, you have to make plays, and we made plays whenever we needed to, and happy we got the W.
How different will it feel getting on the plane and going home 3-2 than it was coming over here 1-2?
It's going to feel great, man. It's going to feel great. But we have to understand that we're 3-2, and the season is still ahead of us. We're going to enjoy this. We're going to enjoy the plane ride. But whenever we touch down, we have to understand that we have to get ready for the coast. It's a new game. NFL is week to week. We can't bask in this because it's still early in the season. 2 weeks from later, nobody will remember this game, and we have to understand that and keep moving.
Coach talks a lot about being persistent with the running game. Was that an example of that today?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, that's just the NFL. I feel like you see week in and week out, you won't see guys get 100 yards if they don't have 20 carries. This is the NFL. Everyone's on they have great defenders out there, great defensive lines and stuff like that. And we were able just to stick with it. Like the first half, they play really well. They play disciplined. They were making tackles, and you just got to kind of wear them down throughout the game and wear them down. We was able to do that. And those tackles they was making in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, they don't want to make those tackles no more. Guys start making business decisions, and that's when you have to just put your head down and keep running.
How are you guys feeling? 20 seconds left on the sidelines when Josh Allen had the ball, one last drive. How are you feeling, all of you guys on the sideline, watching that on?
I mean, honestly, I feel like our defense had a heck of a game. So I was feeling great. I feel like we had a chance to go out there and put it away. We didn't. But our defense had a chance, and they went out there and they did it for us. And that's all I can ask for us. So I was feeling great. They held Josh Allen all game. I feel like they did a great job, and I love that.
Travis, so much about this team advertised in the preseason that this was a team that was capable of being a Super Bowl contender. Is that the team we saw today?
Yes, sir, but we have a long ways to go. Understand that it's a long season. It's a 17-game season. It's not 1 week, 1 week, 2 week, 3. And we have to continue to find ways to get better. We won the game today, but we're going to look at film and understand that we got a lot of things to clean up. And we just have to keep moving in the right direction. I feel like we're doing it as a team. As long as we keep moving in the direction, later in the season, we gel and we'd be great.
But given the quality of the opponent you played today, it was the hottest offense coming in. It was a really good defense as well. Do you feel like you guys maybe sent a little bit of a message to the rest of the AFC that we're not going away?
I mean, yes, sir. We just come out here and just do our job. I mean, and just play football. We come in here every week with the expectations to win, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And we might have had 2 off games, but that doesn't define us. 1 game don't define us, and we want the world to know that and understand that it's a long season, so we can't just get lost in this.
When it was 4 minutes before the end of the game, that drive you were the main focus. You entered with a touchdown with that 33 yards. How do you feel that the offensive line and you played that kind of close game and the running game was the decisive part of the game?
I feel like that's great. I feel like that's what you want out of your offense. When the games get close late in the games, you want your run game to be the closer, be the finisher, and we were able to do that. We were able to put good things on film, and we just got to continue to take it 1 play at a time, and good things will happen for us.
Travis, was this win, a little bit more satisfying, considering that there was so much of the Bills mafia here today? Of course, last week seemed like it was mainly for the Jags, where you guys were the home team, but the Bills were today technically the home team. So many of them travelled well. Was it a little bit more satisfying to be able to sort of silence them, especially with your touchdown?
Yeah, most definitely. I remember at the beginning of the game just running out, and I ran out, and it was just so many boos. I feel like I never heard that in London. And I thought we were the London team, honestly, and I realized today that we weren't, not today. And I just wanted to kind of just give them something to show. This is my first time playing in the stadium. I wanted to go out there and just put on a masterpiece for everyone out there.
Wasn't there ever a discussion of you not scoring when you were from 34 yards out to take more time off the clock, and then were you too far out to even discuss it?
Nah, so we never had a discussion about it. I already knew if Coach could have told me about it, he probably would have told me to go down. And I thought about it, but now I was like, nah, and nah. They've been having the crowd was going crazy all game, and I just wanted to go out there and try to put the game away. And our defense was playing really well, and I feel like it was the right thing to do at the time.
Did you see a difference between the atmosphere in U.S. stadium and in here?
Yes, sir. I felt like it was just so much louder here. Just for it to be a regular season game, just for it to be week 5, I feel like the intensity, the crowd, everyone was just going crazy. And I remember I'm out there on the field. I'm leaning in the huddle, and I'm like, what is Trev saying? Like, I can't hear Trev, so like I had to ask him again, and that's probably the first time it happened for me in my NFL career.
Okay, thanks, Trev.
Thank y'all.
Josh Allen is right here.
Today for your financial advantage. Everbank, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Something happens when you begin to believe. What seems way off in the distance gets closer.
You focus on what needs to get done, and you'll let nothing get in your way.
Next year becomes this year, and maybe next time.
Josh, what do you make of that ball at the end? Obviously, the rough and pass. Personally, I didn't think it was rough and pass, but what do you think?
We won the game.
You don't think the call after that, though, on their Josh Allen on Trevor, when essentially one of their players took his head off, was ridiculous by comparison to the fact that you got called for a
I'm glad we won the game. I'm glad we won the game. You know, we can look back at these plays, but at the end of the day, it's all about that win. You know, when you lose, then you start looking back at those plays and just, man, what if, we almost did that, almost got that. So at the end of the day, I'm glad we won. You know, there's still room for improvement leading into next week. And, you know, I'm ready to get better next week.
Josh, just wondering, did you win the game?
Yeah. Great win.
How do you think the pressure was today? You guys were all around him. And you told me earlier this week he's a tough guy to get to. Did you bring enough pressure today?
You know, there's always room for improvement. Obviously, when, you know, looking back at it, I want to stay the field, but I feel like there was a lot of attention on my side of the ball and, you know, trying to, you know, setting me different, oversetting me with a guard right there and a chipper on the back end. So it's just, you know, everybody else, we got to apply pressure as a whole. And, you know, I think that's an area we can improve on leading into next week on when we have matchups like this and when we have opportunities as a whole. Let's find a way to get there. You know, I think towards the end of the game we started running a little bit more games, and those became effective. Those started opening up opportunities for myself to get a little bit freer. But, you know, there's always room for improvement, and, you know, we can get better.
Can you talk about Darius Williams? In the first half, they were going after him, and he gave up quite a few yards. But in the second half, he came through with that fourth quarter interception that set up the scoring drive and the play on the 2-point conversion. Can you talk about his resiliency on a tough day for him to come up with those plays?
Man, he knows we got his back. You know, he's never out there by himself. And I know, you know, when it's my time, I know I'm never out there by myself. I know these guys going to ride with me. And it's just make the plays in front of you. I know for me, I missed the opportunity for a sack. You know, so I got to make those up for those guys in the back end. But for D. Will, man, for him to stay locked in, to not get, oh, man, they did this, that. Your next play going to be right there. You never know when it's going to be there. But I'm so happy for him, proud of him. And that's what he's doing. That's what he does. Him and Tyson, man, oh, my goodness. Lockdown corners. Obviously, they're going to have playmakers on their side of the ball as well. But, you know, I take my corners over any quarterbacks in the National Football League right now. And we're going to stand on that.
Josh, to get 2 in London after coming in with back-to-back losses, how important?
We're on a 2-win winning streak, and we want to stay hot. We got a big game coming up next week against the Colts. Obviously, you know, they got their top back, and you know, we're excited for that challenge. So it's make the corrections from this week, move on to next week, and, you know, and find areas to improve on.
You have today the rushing game of Buffalo Bills, and in the first half you have almost led them to 0 points. You played really well against Falcons last week. How do you feel that these 10 days in London have helped to improve the defense?
I think just hanging out with each other. You know, I know my family didn't get in town until Thursday, of this week. So for me, it was really, film study and hanging out with the guys. When back home, you kind of get sucked into your life, and now we're outside of our personal lives, and we have to adjust. So for us, man, we got time to spend more time with each other, to go to dinner more, play the game if we want to watch more film together. So it was definitely really cool just to, take these days off and really, connect with everybody, offensively and defensively.
Josh, due to the quality of the opponent you faced today and how well all three phases performed, do you feel like this is like, did you feel like you guys sent a message today about sort of, feeling like you guys really are a legit Super Bowl contender? You feel like that statement today was made more than any other time this year?
I mean, it was definitely a big game. And, statement game, the next one could be even bigger. The next one is a divisional opponent. So I believe 2 games, 2 games in one. So it's a must win. But the confidence that we practice in, to know that when we are on our game, offensively, defensively, special teams, we're a team that can't be beat. And we stay with that confidence, stay with that swag. I think leading into Texas week, we expected to win that game, and we came out and did what we did. This week, we worked to win, and that's our motto. And I'm excited to see what this week in stores for us. Big game this week. We already played the Colts once. Personnel's probably still the same, but I'm excited to play against them again.
What makes for you the difference for Jacksonville in the statement of the league? Because for many years you have been considered as an underdog. Now you are considered as a contender for the Super Bowl. So how do you feel about this?
As a defense?
Yes.
I mean, we can definitely hold our head up high to hold this team to, what they had, 20 points. And then 7 points in the first half. But there's still areas where we can get better. And I think those opportunities that they had, we gave them those. Like, I don't know what happened in the back end. I don't know if it was missed coverage or, somebody slipped or fell. But we can improve on that. For me, that roughing the passer, I think we get that sack, or if I lean my head out of it or take pressure, I don't know what it was called. But, we get that sack, they don't score. And so there's definitely areas to improve each week, but I think as a whole, man, I think, we stayed true. The offense was unbelievable. That's what they're capable of every day. Calvin Ridley was the guy out there, and he is that guy. Trevor Lawrence, oh my goodness, Travis, offensive line. I think everything went smooth, man. There was a lot of ups and downs, but we had more ups and downs this week, and, it was a great team win.
So was it an advantage for you to be here all week? Good morning. Did you have an advantage over the Bills because you were here and they were not? Who'd you tell? I
mean, I think, for us, it was how we prepared, all week. If we prepared, I mean, we were in the Falcons, as a normal schedule, and we went out there and handled business. I think this week we just prepared right. I know when Cam came back and Zay, you felt that energy. Like, and I was telling those guys, man, when they came back, it was like, in practice, they looked different. Like, it sensed different, it seemed different, it tasted different. Like, it was just like, yeah, we about to get clicking. And to go out there and to see the offense perform like that, man, that's a standard that needs to be held. And I'm so proud of them. Hopefully they continue to get better as the defense get better, special teams get better. Logan Cook with the perfect punt, and special teams, DT making his way down there as well. Man, that was just great team win. Great team win, but it started Monday in practice.
When you play a guy like Josh today, or you've got Anthony Richardson next week, in terms of guys that can make yards, significant yards with their feet, does that mean you have to adjust your pass rush in terms of not getting past the top of their drop, maintaining discipline in your rush lane so they don't come under you and pick up significant yards?
Definitely. I know what you're saying. But he is a quarterback that could have, who can run on his legs, obviously, and who can be a dual threat. So definitely rush lanes is important. But at the end of the day, we have to know who we're rushing against. Like I said, I've been playing against this offensive line for 5 years, going on for like 5 years now. And so you know what to expect. So now it's just you have to win your one-on-ones. Obviously, the quarterback situation, he's not going to just stand in the pocket. If he sees a lane, he's going to take it. So we have to do better on getting off a block using our hands, power rush, speed rush, just to rush is one. And I think once we get to that identity as one, instead of like just, picking and choosing or, this way, text here, when we rush as one, man, it's going to be unbelievable. And again, we're going to start this Monday.
How much did we watched you 2 years ago with a different head coach here when you won? How much did the atmosphere change from back then to now?
After this game or just in general?
2 years from one win to this win.
This was a complete win. Offensively, defensively, special teams. NFL is a week-to-week basis. You never know what to expect. Heck, we didn't expect to lose to the Texans, but we didn't prepare the right way. And those are the outcomes that will happen. When you prepare the right way, when you have the mindset, when you have the confidence going into each game that you can dominate each matchup, you play with a sense of swagger. And today we had that swag, offensively, defensive, special teams, man. Kudos to everybody, the coaching staff as well, for not losing. They're cool. Everybody keeping sane and just knowing that we're going to win this game, but we all got to stay in it.
I remember when we met in the off-season, you said you're a history buff. Your family arrived on Thursday. Have you been able to take in any history, see anything new in London?
I mean, I've been out here so long now. I done experienced all of London so far. For me, it was going to Sushi Samba. That's my spot. So if I can go there, it's a great trip for me. Ooh, I'm about to get back to Jacksonville. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Josh.
Tien was, and hey, look, if you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, look no further than the Ford F-150, loaded with impressive capabilities designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between. This truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So there you go, your MVP, so to speak, for today. We'll give it to Trevor Lawrence, Travis Etienne, Darius Wings, and many others contributing to this victory. Up next, the Baptist Health Injury Report. 25-20, the Jags beat the Bills. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Maximize your energy savings with a new energy-efficient heating and cooling system from Florida Home Air Conditioning today. Get up to $1,750 back and a free Nest thermostat when Florida Home buys back your old inefficient HVAC system. Expert technicians and flexible payment options are great reasons to call Florida Home today. Florida Home Air Conditioning, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit FloridaHomeAC.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
FloridaHomeAC.com.
As the official supermarket of the Jacksonville Jaguars, Publix is helping fans gear up for game day with the limited-time Jaguars sub. Piled high with hot deli chicken tenders, boar's head bacon, cheddar cheese, coleslaw.
Every time this team faced the Bills and they were mounting a surge, right? At the end of the second quarter, into the third quarter, you guys had an answer. I'm not sure this team has always had that. So what about the mental side of it, having an answer today?
Yeah, I think, it took all three phases that had to make plays in big moments. First half, really the defense keeping us in it. And second half, it was, in crunch time, the offense had to go down and have a drive, and we were able to do that. So, it was all three phases working together. So that was big. And then we knew what type of game it was going to be when you're playing teams like that. They're a great team. It's going to be a four-quarter game, no matter how it starts. I think we missed some opportunities early to kind of jump out to an even bigger lead, but we knew it was going to be a dogfight. It was going to be a four-quarter game. It wasn't going to be easy, and we just had to find a way to win. That's what it's about, and that was the message all week, and to play physical, to attack them, and I feel like we did that.
Last week we spoke about the fans being a little bit mixed and how it felt a little bit like a home game. How much more did it feel like a road game this week with the Bills Mafia?
Yeah, it definitely felt like more of a road game this week for sure. The Bills fans, they came out, and obviously this was like a home game for them, so they came out and they were loud. We weren't really anticipating using silent cadence, and we had to, I'd say, half the game maybe. So that was something that we had to make an adjustment, and once we kind of settled in, we were fine. But that was definitely, it was kind of a surprise how loud and how many fans showed up from Buffalo. So that was cool.
Congrats on the win.
10 days ago, you traveled with a negative record. Now you're going back home with positive 3 and 2. Apart from the obvious, what changed within the group?
I don't think anything changed. I think we cleaned up some things. We've executed a little bit better. Still not great. I mean, it's never going to be perfect. This game it's an imperfect game, so it's never going to be perfect. But there's definitely things that we need to clean up. We need to continue to clean up. Still just a little bit sloppy, but the difference is we're making the plays when we have to make them in crunch time. And I think some of the other 2 games that we've lost, we didn't do that. When the moment was there, we kind of let the opportunity slip. So I think that's the biggest difference. And so I think if we clean up even more of the mistakes and the execution and the sloppiness, it'll be even cleaner. But it's never going to be perfect, and it's really just about winning. So.
Trevor, how are you feeling, and what was happening with the calf?
Yeah, just calves cramping up a little bit, in the second half of that game. So I'm feeling pretty good. Excited to get off my feet for 9 hours or whatever it is for this flight and get back home and recover and rest up.
Trevor, when you come to the line of scrimmage on that 3rd and 4 at the end, what do you, obviously they're showing cover 0, man-to-man across the board, and you see Calvin lined up one-on-one against Micah Hyde. How does that sight adjustment work? Tell me what you kind of do in that situation.
Yeah, I was just, I was kind of surprised they gave us that look. It was something that, every team has tendencies to get when they get to cover 0, it's usually a certain look, and you're kind of ready for that. It wasn't necessarily the look I was expecting, but we saw it, and I knew it was going to be. We were in empty, so it was going to be pressure. And when they pressure you in empty, typically, especially 0, they got obviously one more than you can block. So I knew I had to get signal to something, and then I saw they had everybody pressed across the board and had Micah on a safety on Calvin. So that's like a great matchup, dream matchup for us. So I was excited, and we just took the shot. Yeah, it was just a quick little, I got the check to him, and he knew what we were checking to, and I mean, great release off the line, ran a great route.
Trevor, could you just talk a little bit about your own resiliency today? Because I'm sure you felt bad about the fumbles, particularly the second one, because it didn't look like it was a play. The first one was a strip sack from behind, but the second one, it looked like you were trying to secure the ball. And yet, could you talk about just the resiliency of coming back from something like that and being able to kind of keep your foot on the gas, so to speak?
Yeah, it's this game, like I said, it's an imperfect game, and it's you try your best to play as good as you can and to play perfect, but you never will. And obviously, like you said, I agree with all that. I think that one is frustrating because it was something I could have avoided. I felt like I held on the ball too long in that situation. 1, don't need to take a sack when we're in field goal range, and 2, obviously lose the ball and don't get any points. It's kind of a worse situation there. But I've had a lot of bad plays in my career. I've had a lot of games where I've had a lot of turnovers. I've done all those things, and I've just realized it's about the next play, and you can't ever think about that after it's over. So that's the way this game is. You're never going to be perfect, and even more so, it's important to focus on the next play when you did have a bad play, because you got to bounce back, and the team they need me to play well if we're going to win. So I understand that, and that's what I had to do.
2 questions left.
And do you think that these 10 days here in London have, for example, Calvin has said that help bond the team, make more plays, make more snaps together. Do you think that for other teams and for yourself for other years, it's a good thing to play 2 games in a row here in Europe?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm the right person to ask. It was a cool experience. I think it was good for our team. We used it the right way. I think it kind of refocused us. We were about our business. We got 2 wins, and that was the goal, is to get 2 wins and go home. So I know we're excited to go home. It's a long time away from your life, I guess one would say, but we're excited to get back. But it was a cool experience. It was great. Fans are awesome here. The people were great. The hotels, the hospitality, everyone did a great. I know it takes a lot to take care of a whole team, so everyone did a lot to help us. So we appreciate that. But yeah, I don't know. I think it went well though. It went well for us. We went 2-0, so I'm happy.
Wrap it up right here in the middle.
Trevor, Travis mentioned earlier the noise in the stadium compared to last week. How did you find it this week as the road team compared to last week, as the home team? A lot more fans last week.
Well, it was much louder. Yeah, it was much louder, and obviously the fans did a good job of getting loud when we were on offense, especially on 3rd downs and in the red zone or backed up when we were near the fans. They did a really good job being loud, so that created a couple communication issues and stuff that we had to work through. And like I said, I felt like once we settled in and we understood, okay, it's a road game, this is how it's going to be, then we were fine.
Thanks, Trevor.
Thank you all. Appreciate it. Thanks for waiting. Sorry.
Cover up to 5,000 parts and systems. Call 800-471-1223 now or go to carshield.com/Jaguars. That's 800-471-1223 or go to carshield.com/Jaguars. Go Jags!
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
As we wind down, Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, the official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, Donna Murphy wrapping things up for you here from the Hyundai Studios. For those on our flagship station, 1010XL in Jacksonville, we invite you to stick around after this. The Scoreboard Show is coming up. But Tony, 3-2 coming home. You hate to keep, every game's a must-win in the NFL, it feels like, right? But here's another divisional game, and you've recaptured some of the goodwill, I think, that you had a lot of heading into the season. You recaptured some momentum. You've got to be feeling good about yourselves. What you can't do now is come home and lose to an Indianapolis team that you've already beaten pretty soundly on the road. You've owned that team in Jacksonville. That dominance needs to continue.
Absolutely it does. The Colts, as you said, coming into today, along with everybody else in the South, at 2-2. They're leading 7-6, about halfway through the second quarter today against Tennessee at home. So if they do win that game, they're coming to town next week at 3-2. The Jags, as we know, got the win over the Colts up there in Indianapolis in week 1. So in the division, an opportunity against one of those teams within the division to get to 2-0 against them on the season, regardless of their outcome against the Titans today. That would give you the head-to-head and the game lead, right, on the Colts, even if they won that game today against the Tennessee Titans. It's a monster game next week. We've known, even before they started the London trip, how big this Colts game was looming, right, for this football team. What does that look like after playing back-to-back weeks in London? Well, it looked okay against the Buffalo Bills today. What does it look like after spending 2 weeks in London, coming back and trying to play a football game the next week? It's another mystery. We just don't know exactly what that looks like because no one's ever tried to do it before. The Jags get that opportunity next week at home against the Colts.
We'll find out. But you know what? Right now, all Jaguar fans can savor this one. 25-20 over the Buffalo Bills. Again, for those on our flagship station, 1010XL in Jacksonville, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is coming up next. For those on the network outside of Jacksonville, join us on Jaguars.com or the Jaguars YouTube channel. The Vice President of Production is Patrick Cavanaugh. Executive Producer of Jaguars Radio is Dave DeCandis. The Manager of Radio, Joe Fortunato. Linda Fortunato, Tony Smith, and Donna Murphy are your studio producers. Brent Reber, Trent Padilla, Gabby Dalton, David Cho, and Max Hockman produce video for Jaguars.com. William Peace handles our podcast. Kate Waskey on advertising. For all the aforementioned, I'm Mike Dempsey, and that includes Bucky Brooks and our entire broadcast crew over in London as well. Jags win it 25-20. Enjoy it, Jaguar fans. You hung in there. You deserve this, and you got the rest of your Sunday to celebrate now. 25-20, Jacksonville over the Buffalo Bills on the Jaguars Radio Network.
This is Jaguars Postgame. Presented. Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. Now, waiting to hear from you, here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
Bucky and JP a little tied up right now as they're trying to get on a plane, head back to the States here. So it's Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith here with you on the Scoreboard Show. And just as we were wrapping up, we were kind of looking ahead to what's coming next week here on the Jags postgame show there, Tony, and the Colts coming in, and we look up, and what do we see on TV? Anthony Richardson writhing in pain on the ground with an apparent right shoulder injury, which, that's your throwing shoulder, obviously. I mean, like Gardner Minshew, probably one of the better backups in the National Football League, but clearly, Richardson in the first month plus of the season has not proven he can stay healthy. He's a big target. He's taken some big shots, and he takes another one today and goes down hard. And so we'll see. Right now, you got to question whether he'll be available to play next week at this point.
Yeah, we know after that Week 1 game, the Jags went up there when he got knocked out of the game by Andre Sisco on their final drive, right? And Gardner Minshew had to come in for the last couple offensive plays. For the Colts, Trevor Lawrence, we know, went to Anthony Richardson after that game and said, "You're going to be great. Learn to slide."
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's one of the things he told me. It's like, you can't survive in the league if you're going to get hit as often as you're getting hit right now. And look, he's got to use that athleticism. That's one of the big weapons that he has in his favor, right? So you don't want to totally eliminate that, but it does expose you to a bunch of big hits. Look, we do a show every Friday with Tom McManus, right? He was talking about it on Friday, like keys to the game against the Bills. Knock Josh Allen out the game.
Yeah.
Hurt him for a week.
That's Tom's number one key every week.
Right. That's the defensive player's mentality. When you have a quarterback that's willing to run the ball as often as Anthony Richardson is, the mentality of the guys on the other side of the ball is going to be punish him. Every time he comes out here into the woods, we're going to punish him, right? Like, that's going to be the idea, because once he's out there, he's just a runner. So you're going to get the full brunt of it if you're going to do it that way. By the way, Jaguars fans, if it does wind up where Gardner Minshew is playing here next week, I get it. You love the guy when he was here. Leave your 15 Minshew jersey at home for a week.
Please.
We don't need a bunch of Jags Minshew jerseys in the stands just because he's playing that week. Put on somebody who's actually playing on the Jaguars side when the Colts come to town next week, please.
You know what? Let's worry about next week.
Sure.
For now, in the remainder of the Scoreboard Show, let's celebrate a Jaguar victory. If you'd like to get in and talk Jaguar football, make a comment, or have a question about today's performance, 904-355-NFL1. That's 904-355-6351. Give us a ring right now. Donna Murphy will get you squared away. We'll take your calls for the remainder of the hour here. 25-20, the Jaguars knock off the Buffalo Bills, and this is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Tackle your marketing needs with Kessler Creative. Providing direct mail services for more than a decade, Kessler has a wide range of services from small mailers to large banners and signs. Draft Kessler as your first pick to receive the best targeted mail list. Elevate your business and be on the winning team with Kessler Creative. Kessler Creative, results-driven marketing and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit JTAFLA.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in New Orleans and Pittsburgh. Watch them win in Houston and Nashville. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com.
Cancer patients across the Southeast make Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center in Jacksonville their first choice for treatment. Dr. Jonathan Melquist explains why.
We have so many resources that can help a patient from the very onset, and we just have a degree of unity and cohesive care that is hard to match. It's especially with the tougher cancers that we really excel.
Appointments available now. Call 844-632-2278.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Come back. Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith here with you from the Hyundai Studios. If you'd like to get in, talk Jaguar ball after a victory over the Buffalo Bills. 355-NFL-1, 904-355-6351 will get you connected right here as we're going to have a nice victory Monday, victory Tuesday, victory Wednesday. We're going to let this one stretch out a little bit.
Yeah.
Last week, all right, they won, but it was like it was more about they didn't lose.
Yeah.
They won this game against a very quality opponent, one of the hottest teams in the National Football League, and maybe righting the ship. They got to take care of business against the teams that they need to beat, right? They need to beat the Colts. They need to beat the Saints. These teams are struggling in various ways. If they get those wins against the teams that they're supposed to beat, at least at our estimation that they're supposed to beat, they're starting to get a little momentum here, and you can kind of put that early season bobble behind you with the loss to Houston.
Well, and we talked about it especially late in the week, right, getting ready for this Bills game, the idea of how to letdowns happen in the NFL. Right? Dallas goes to Arizona, loses that game. You don't look at that game on paper and think that Dallas has any business, right, losing to the Arizona Cardinals. But they do. So how does that kind of thing happen, right? Well, it happens when you have a big, dominating win in a game that means a lot for you the week before. That's what the Buffalo Bills had the week before. It's a divisional rival. The Miami Dolphins coming into town, coming off 70 points, and you take them on, right? Then you have to travel the way that they have to travel. It's on the road. All those things are factors in those kind of things. The Bills were flat. From the opening kick of this game, the Bills were just flat today against the Jags. And in the end, they pay the price for it. Let's get out to the phone lines for the first time today. Don out on the north side has dialed us up today. Don, what's going on? Don, are you there?
Hello, Don.
Don?
I think I hear him now. Hey, Don, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, how you doing, fellas?
Good. What's up, man?
Hey, I called the last couple of weeks and everything, voicing my opinion. I just wanted to say, get one big
Duval right back at you, man. So, what stood out to you today?
So man, I was impressed. I think Trevor stepped up a little bit. I think one of my key points with him, I think obviously the talent is there and everything. The main thing I think for him to get to the next level is poise. It's just something sometimes when he's in that pocket, I can see the confidence that he's trying to make a play, but sometimes I think he's rushing a little bit. I think if he could just slow down a little bit there, like there's some of those plays that he can make, there may be a difference between the touchdown or a field goal, 10 points a game or something like that, that he could sit up there and do. ETN, I know everybody was sleeping on him a little bit with the Tank Bigsby draft and, with him fumbling last year. I think that he's still the man. He's showing improve. He still run like a monster. So, yeah, man, defense has definitely been the strong point. We all came in thinking that the offense was going to be the high-power machine that kept everything going, and that the defense will have to just manage the game, and defense has honestly been keeping us in most of these games, and the offenses have been catching up. So, with that, I take the comments off of there, but appreciate y'all guys for doing what y'all do every week, man. Again, go Jags.
Go Jags.
Appreciate the call, Don. Yeah, I think, look, the defense has been the stronger side of the ball for the Jags this year to this point, and they were great again today against the Buffalo Bills. You hold the Buffalo Bills to 7 points through 3.5 quarters, that's putting in work, right? Like, that is a fantastic job.
Buffalo had not been shut out, they said on the TV broadcast. I saw the graphic in the first half of a game in the last 53 games.
Yeah.
Right? So they were 5 minutes away from doing that today, and obviously they scored, so it wasn't they didn't finish it off. But nevertheless, I do think Don's point about, I don't know if it's poise with Trevor. I don't know if that's the word I would use, but he definitely has, at times, when he gets bodies around him, some shaky ball security in the pocket.
Yeah, I think that's something that he needs to work on. I do think it's I don't know how to – poise doesn't feel like the right word, right, for it, but he feels the issues they're having on the offensive line right now, right? Like, he can feel the issues that he's not getting the protection that you would think that he needs. And so I do think it's speeding him up at times. But despite that, again, today he gets sacked 5 times. He could have been sacked 9. Right? Like, there are a lot of quarterbacks that with as much of a rush as he was facing, 5 feels small, right, for how many times he actually got sacked today. He's done that over and over and over again since he got here to Jacksonville. Last year, he did the second half of the season, he was basically a wizard with what he did to help out that offensive line. He had one of those kind of days to me today, and he still got sacked 5 times.
Right. It's just when the bodies are flying around and everything's buzzing around him, on occasion, he has a tendency to
no doubt
let a defensive player get his hands on the football. It happened today. Look, it didn't cost him today. At least it didn't cost him the game. That's the big thing. But, again, like you said, I don't know if it's poise exactly because for sure he's gotten them out of trouble on some plays in recent weeks. But, overall, pretty happy with the performance we got out of number 16 today. All right, when we return in a moment, more of your calls here on the Scoreboard Show at 355 NFL 1, 25-20. Jags beat the Buffalo Bills. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
The game may be over, but the excitement is just beginning. The Jaguars played a great game, and J-Tech is proud to be part of a community that supports our team. But before we go, let's take a moment to talk about an important part of our community, tradesmen and women. J-Tech believes that everyone deserves the opportunity to learn valuable skills and build a successful career. They're proud to support the Jaguars and our community by offering high-quality trades education. Learn more at jtech.org.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Frank Frangie here. When you want barbecue in Jacksonville, you want Bono's Pit Barbecue. You can find Bono's locations all around town and on game day at Everbank Stadium because Bono's is the official barbecue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Over 70 years of authentic Southern Pit Barbecue. We are the local barbecue joint in BBQval for generations of people in Jacksonville. Go to bonosbarbecue.com to learn more or call 904-880-8310 today. And remember, if you don't see a pit, it ain't legit.
Jaguars fans, huddle up. Do you own a vehicle made in the last 10 years? If your car is outside of factory warranty or with no warranty coverage, get the best defense against expensive auto repairs with CarShield, the official auto protection partner of the Jaguars. With plans to fit every budget, CarShield helps you cover up to 5,000 parts and systems. Call 800-471-1223 now or go to carshield.com/Jaguars. That's 800-471-1223 or go to carshield.com/Jaguars. Go Jags!
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too, former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter.
Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading organizations across the country to deliver workforce solutions. As a proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI crafts personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your Workforce Solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
We continue along. Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith from the Hyundai Studios. If you'd like to get in on the Scoreboard Show, 355-NFL1, 355-6351. Tony, what do we got?
We got Matt in Orlando has dialed us up next. What's going on today, Matt?
Guys, I freaking love you guys. I listen to you every day. Yes, can you guys hear me?
We can. We hear you fine. We love you as well.
Okay, I'm sorry. I have 4 things I want to talk about, and I'm out of here. I'm out of your hair. I love you guys. That's all I was trying to say. All right, first things first is Tyson Campbell shutting down Diggs. Even though he got that touchdown, it doesn't matter. Whenever they try to switch it to Darius, it didn't matter. We still had him locked down. Loved it. Second thing, offensive line. We show a lot of depth. We had a few people that went down with a little bit of injuries for a short period of time, but we got right back up. You never even noticed it. Didn't even matter. Third thing, the Jacksonville Jaguars are the real deal, Holyfield. They said Miami was a real thing, but all these fans that think that this Florida team here in Jacksonville is a fucking flash in the pan.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. That's don't call for a while. Really, come on, man. All right, let's move along. Who's
My
next?
guy's excited. A little too excited. Let's get over to Zach, who's dialing us up from the north side next. Zach, what's going on today, bud?
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah. What do you got about the game today, man?
Hey, I'm excited because we won 2 overseas, and I just want to say go Jags. But I know we're going to hear a lot of chat about Trevor and the turnovers. We can't put it all on Trevor. I mean, the offensive line got to help him out some.
Yeah,
so,
totally agree with you,
question.
Zach. Yeah.
So, good game, good win. Let's go Jags. Let's get another.
All right. I thought the second one was definitely on Trevor.
Yeah.
I thought he didn't have good awareness. He had time to get rid of the football. You got to have better protection. But
yeah, it's 3rd and 11. You're in field goal range. Worst case scenario is throw it away and let's get the field goal unit out.
Or if
here.
you get hit, hang on to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost. The first one was a chip shot. The second one would have been a little bit longer, but still very makeable with the leg for Brandon McManus.
Every now and then we've gone back and talked about how different would the feel about the whole team be, right? If the second half against the Chargers last year didn't play out quite that way, right? Like if they have that big comeback and say they missed the field goal, whatever, right? How is the conversation about them different? Trevor Lawrence had a fumble against the Dallas Cowboys. The defense got the ball back for him, right, and gave them an opportunity to go tie the game. Still in that one, we saw him fumble a bunch against Philadelphia last year. I don't think it's illegit to point out Trevor needs to get better about protecting the football when he's running with it. It's just something that he needs to improve right now in his game. It didn't wind up killing him today, right? And I thought Trevor played really well. We got one more if we want to go to one more here, Mike. But, it's Trevor wound up not killing him with that fumble. But it is something, to keep an eye on for him right now because it hasn't been great, to this point, at least for him. James dialing us up from the south side as we'll get one and more in here before the break. James, what's going on today, bud?
Hey, guys. How y'all doing?
Good.
What's up?
Hey, all right. Hey, I'm nitpicking here. Great win. Jaguar fan, born and raised in Jacksonville. Love football. But why am I sweating every 3rd and 1 or 3rd and a half a yard to go? I'm sweating like I'm scared to death we're not going to make it. And it shouldn't be that way. Is the offensive line that bad or what?
It is, and you could be less worried about it today than you probably have been all season. right? Like they were actually okay in that kind of circumstance today. Third down's been a big issue. Right, like third down's been such a big issue for them. 10 out of 18, that's winning football in the NFL, and they won, right? But I understand the nervousness every time they get in a third and short. As far as what you saw through the first month, I understand it, right? But today, they were fine.
Right, they haven't been good on third down. So, yeah, I mean, it's not like it's a fluke, right? I mean, it's been a consistent pattern for them. And they don't have a line that blows people off the ball all the time. That's kind of what you need. And Trevor Lawrence is kind of a hit and miss on those quarterback sneaks. Like today, he just slipped. His feet kind of went out from under him, and he looked like he would have had it easily if he keeps his feet. So it is frustrating. There's no question about it. I don't think they've all of a sudden become a good third down team just because they were just a little over 50-50 today converting those, which is good. I mean, by the standard that they were playing at, it was a marvelous performance in that regard.
Well, and when your big issues on the offensive line are on the interior, where do you run the ball on 3rd and 1, right? You're going to run a QB sneak behind your 3 weakest offensive linemen? Like, it makes sense that would be where the issues are happening for the offense. It's something they got to figure out. They were much better with it today than they have been all season long. They won the game.
I did enjoy seeing Travis Etienne take runs out of the pistol on 3rd and medium.
Yep.
And convert them easily.
That 3rd and 5.
The 3rd and 5. I mean, he was booking around the corner on that one, and you know how it is. If it doesn't work, why are we running Travis Etienne on 3rd down? You know we can't get a 3rd down, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, why are we running out of shotgun? Why are we running out of the pistol? When it works,
successful.
It works. And that, that's
it's a good play
that's
call.
The bottom line.
Yeah.
Right? It's a good play call if that play call is executed properly and it succeeds. But I get the frustration. There's no doubt. It's
100%.
been a frustrating season in that statistical category. But not today. All right, as the Jags win it 25-20 over the Buffalo Bills. More of your calls when we return in a moment. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Restaurant Orsay is a bustling French-American bistro focusing on classic French techniques with their chefs incorporating a traditional Southern influence. Celebrate life's special moments or just relax and enjoy their daily happy hour, weekend brunch, and nightcap on Friday and Saturdays from 10 until midnight. Restaurant Orsay, located in historic Avondale, 3630 Park Street. Visit www.restaurantorsay.com.
Cancer patients across the Southeast make Baptist MD Anderson Cancer Center in Jacksonville their first choice for treatment. Dr. Jonathan Milquist explains why.
We have so many resources that can help a patient from the very onset, and we just have a degree of unity and cohesive care that is hard to match. It's especially with the tougher cancers that we really excel.
Appointments available now. Call 844-632-2278.
Hey, it's Salem from Travel Camp RV, the official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars. I wanted to personally invite you to come shop with us. With locations throughout the Southeast, we're likely not far from you. We offer the nation's top RV brands. You can expect value pricing from the get-go and guaranteed best financing options. You can also find us online at travelcamp.com. Our mission is simple, to help more families make more great memories in an RV. Travel Camp RV. We've had the pleasure of doing this since 1982.
Daly's Dash is not only your Jaguars game day stop, but a great place to grab a meal any day of the week. To honor the Jags and the fans, we've crafted the Duval Sub. The Duval comes with freshly sliced turkey ham, melted cheddar and habanero jack cheese, topped with crisp lettuce, fresh tomatoes, and a double portion of our secret sauce, all served on a fresh roll. Come by your local's Daly's Dash today to get your delicious Duval Sub. Daly's is the official convenience store sponsor of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Want to be up close and personal with the Jaguars as they take the field? Here's your chance to be in the shadows, outside the Jaguars locker room, now called the Vault. Enter today at jaguars.com/shadows. One winner a guest for every home game at Everbank Stadium. No purchase to enter or win, must be 18 or older and a legal resident of Florida or Georgia. Promotion period 9/5/23 through 12/15/23. For official rules and complete details, visit jaguars.com. Sponsored by Jacksonville Jaguars, LLC.
Headquartered in Jacksonville, Florida, CSI Companies partners with leading organizations across the country to deliver workforce solutions. As a proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars, CSI crafts personalized operations to fuel the success of businesses, both big and small. Whether it's finding the right talent for a job or seamlessly managing a project from start to finish, CSI has over 3 decades of experience in getting the job done. This is your workforce solutions reimagined. Visit CSICompanies.com.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Hey, let me just say it because we haven't yet, I don't think. Scoreboard.
Scoreboard.
Yeah, we got scoreboard. 25-20 Buffalo Bills Mafia or whatever it is you're calling yourselves these days. Why don't you jump through some folding tables to ease your pain this afternoon or whatever it is you crazy people do.
Whatever you need to do.
We get the dubs and you get the bruises.
All right.
All right?
Whatever you do to deal with the loss, Buffalo, get to it.
I'm feeling pretty cocky today right now. And why not? You know, the Jaguar victory makes you feel good about yourself. 2 in a row now, and hopefully the ship has been righted a little bit. Mike Dempsey and Tony Smith from the Hyundai Studios. 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. We'll get you on board. Tony, where are we going next?
We're going to Josh, who's calling us from out in Oakleaf. What's your reaction to the game today, Josh?
Hey, guys. Thought it was a great win today. Still really impressed with the defense this season, especially with Chad Muma coming in. Do you guys think that he may stay in the starting lineup when Devin Lloyd gets healed up?
Appreciate the call, Josh. I doubt it, right, at this point, Demps, but it'll be interesting to talk to Jeff Logman again on Tuesday and check the tape with him about what exactly he saw from Chad Muma, because I know he wasn't all that impressed with him going through the preseason, said he played pretty well last week. I didn't notice him all that much today.
4 tackles today.
Yeah, so maybe that's something they think about, but it did feel like Devin Lloyd was coming on.
Well, it's also not an inside linebacker game, as we pointed out today.
Right.
When the Buffalo Bills barely try to hand it to a tailback, not many between the tackle opportunities. I just think you've got so much invested in Devin Lloyd. And I do think he was starting to come on a little bit. And clearly you valued him significantly more than you did Chad Muma based on what you gave up to, you gave 3 picks to get in position to get Devin Lloyd. I think there are things he can do athletically. Again, talking to Jeff Logman on a weekly basis, when he watches the film, he just thinks, that Muma, there are certain things, speed-wise, Lloyd is much better. And I don't know if Jeff feels there's anything that Muma does better than Devin Lloyd.
Limited in his coverage ability. I know I've heard him say that when it comes to Chad Muma, so I doubt there's any roster spot open.
Nice to have a guy that you could fill in and not really notice a big letdown.
Yeah, he's been good the last couple weeks. That's what they needed him to be. When Devin Lloyd's healthy and ready to go, I'd imagine he goes back into the starting lineup. Let's head out to the south side now. Malcolm has dialed us up from out there. What's going on today, Malcolm?
How you doing, sir?
Good.
Yes, I just wanted to call in and say that I love the play calling by Doug. He had his glasses on, and he was so into the game, and it was great to see the wide receiver core assembled, how they look together. When Zay Jones was out there, I know he got injured late, but I hope he's doing good. The offense looked pretty good in the first half, and defense played excellent. It was just beautiful Jaguar football. I loved it. I was very into the game, and I think Trevor, he needs to take the sack sometimes because we left some points on the board in the red zone. And I think just Trevor, his drive, he just want to make plays. So sometimes he just got to take the sack sometimes, so we can get those field goals.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Appreciate
he
Malcolm.
took the sack. It's just he needs to sometimes
took it
you just
hard.
need to eat the ball. You know what I mean? I understand what Malcolm's saying. Sometimes you realize, this play's over with. Let me get down, hang on to the football. Let's put 3 points up on the board today. I don't think this. I mean, it was an okay offensive performance in the first half, Tony. And Trevor Lawrence is still. on a pace where he's only thrown one touchdown a week. The running game was excellent today.
Mm-hmm.
Travis Etienne had his best game of the season, 5.2 yards a carry, 136 yards. Trevor, the whole passing game, there have been fits and starts. There have been times when the plays were good. He had hit some big third down passes today. Trevor Lawrence is going to have some breakout games where he goes 3-4 touchdown passes. So I think there's a lot of meat left on the bone in terms of the passing game right now.
Well, and I think the last couple of weeks have answered maybe some of the questions about why wasn't the offense working, through the first 3 weeks of the season. And I said it when we were doing Jaguars Today through that time, that I felt like the thing that had to change now for the offense to have any kind of chance, stop beating yourself. When you have the opportunity to make a catch, to make a play, just make the play that is there to be made. And in the last couple games against Atlanta, against Buffalo today, drops were a complete non-factor for the offense, and the offense looks fine. It wasn't great last week against Atlanta. It didn't need to be. It was certainly good enough today against Buffalo. The drops are out of their system, at least for the last couple of weeks. Hopefully that's the way it's going to look for the rest of the year. But that was the thing that felt like was getting in their way to me throughout the early part of the season. They've gotten that out of their system for now, at least. Let's get out to the phone lines one more time here with Jim out in Neptune Beach. What's going on today, Jim?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. I was wondering about with the officiating and the inconsistency. I mean, there was that one play where Trevor almost had his head taken off and there was nothing, and then later on there was the play where our Josh Allen sacked the other Josh Allen and got tagged for a personal foul because the other Josh Allen ducked, which to me seems, the other Josh Allen caused the problem. And I was just wondering if you all had some ideas as far as what was going on.
Sure. Well, first of all, they'll tell you. The defensive player's responsibility is to avoid the head-to-head contact. Doesn't matter if the player ducks at the last possible second. That's just fair, unfair. And it seems incredibly unfair at times. Like, how are you supposed to do that? But that's just the way it is because they're going to protect the quarterbacks. But even with that, Tony, I didn't think that was a personal foul. I thought he just ran through and tackled him.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't seem at all egregious. And when you compare it to the one that was it Epinesa who hit Trevor in the head, right? And got him like with the bicep, like almost a club move, like a clothesline to the side of the head. It was so blatant. I mean, Doug Peterson might have fought somebody today if the Jags had lost this game. And yet, honest to goodness, I don't know if I've ever seen Doug this mad in the last couple of years that he's been here. Maybe I'm forgetting an occasion or two, but he was steamed, because, particularly with that call, was – I can't explain it. And I'm not one of these guys, the Buffalo's going to get all the calls. Buffalo's a small market team, too.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like, the NFL's trying to prop the Bills up, I don't believe, and put them in the Super Bowl or anything like that.
Yeah, I think there is pressure when you're in a team's home stadium that occasionally they get a beneficial call.
Not in London.
Right. Like, I think the officials are human, too. Right, so the emotion of an entire building that is cheering one way, maybe that pushes them in a direction with some of that stuff. I don't think that's impossible, but today I thought it's okay if they're going to call the one on Josh Allen. It's really tough, right, to call that penalty. He's going at his chest. He's got his face up. He's doing everything he's being told to do. He can't dive at the guy's legs. He's not trying to hit him in the head. He winds up hitting his helmet. Okay, the league's going to protect quarterbacks in that situation. Then protect them. Trevor Lawrence got punched in the head, and the official's staring at it. You don't throw a flag on that. It's just inconceivable that they can't call both in that situation. It's not that I don't want them to call either. I just want them to call both, right? It's the quarterback, protect him. Guy hits the quarterback in the head, throw a flag. Like, that seems to be where we're at in the league. It's inexplicable why they would get one and miss the other, but they did today.
Then again, today was a day when –
they got helped a lot.
Josh Allen throws a touchdown to Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
And even though they came back and got it on the next play, we're sitting here like, oh, man, here we go. What's going to happen here? 5, 10. I don't know how many seconds after the play. Flag on the play on the Buffalo Bills. Take the touchdown off the board. When do we get that kind of thing, right? It just seems like we never get those kind of things. Let me just look at the penalty totals here today. Jags had 8 penalties for 56. Buffalo penalized 11 times for 109.
Yeah, they had big penalties.
They really did, and I thought they called a ton of them on Buffalo today, probably well-deserved. But the one that was the most glaring is the one that they let go.
For sure.
And
yeah.
that's the one that really gets you because it's your quarterback.
Yep.
And this is supposed to be the major point of emphasis above all others when it comes to officiating NFL games these days. Anyway, Jags survive it. Trevor survives it. 25-20. They defeat the Buffalo Bills. Back for one final segment with some final thoughts on today's victory. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates frequent shopper clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
The game may be over, but the excitement is just beginning. The Jaguars played a great game, and J-Tech is proud to be part of a community that supports our team. But before we go, let's take a moment to talk about an important part of our community, tradesmen and women. J-Tech believes that everyone deserves the opportunity to learn valuable skills and build a successful career. They're proud to support the Jaguars and our community by offering high-quality trades education. Learn more at jtech.org.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in New Orleans and Pittsburgh. Watch them win in Houston and Nashville. All the other Jaguars games are just one short connection away. And if airport parking has you stressed, be sure to visit the Jax Airport website before traveling to the terminal. On it, you'll find information about the status of on-airport parking in real time. See if your favorite areas are available or if you need to call an audible. Visit flyjax.com for more information.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic looking for a parking space? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to Everbank Field is on JTA's Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 5 locations around Jacksonville. Passes start at $10 and are available exclusively on the MyJTA mobile app. Visit jtafla.com for full details. The JTA Game Day Express, where you're winning before the game even starts. Your Game Day Express is sponsored by the Jacksonville Zoo and Gardens.
Tackle your marketing needs with Kessler Creative. Providing direct mail services for more than a decade, Kessler has a wide range of services from small mailers to large banners and signs. Draft Kessler as your first pick to receive the best targeted mail list. Elevate your business and be on the winning team with Kessler Creative. Kessler Creative, results-driven marketing and proud partner of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show. Scoreboard Show continues right now.
All right, final moments on the Scoreboard Show. Jags have scoreboard 25-20 over the Buffalo Bills today. Stick around because the fifth quarter is coming up here on your flagship home for Jaguar football, 1010 XL. Hacker, Coach Campo, Big Surse. Now, someone might need to explain this to Leon. At the end of the game today, when the Jags had the ball in the lead, Trevor Lawrence took a knee to run out the clock.
He did.
Because Buffalo had no more timeouts.
I thought it was a really good strategic call.
I think Leon's probably going to be very confused at this because Mario Cristobal down in South Florida likes to hand it off.
He does.
And maybe your running back fumbles that ball away and you end up losing a game that all you had to do is kneel down and win. But the Jags aren't stupid, so they didn't do that. So, but somebody explained to Leon why that occurred in that sequence today. That would probably help him out here for the postgame show. Of course, Tony and I will be on Jaguars today with David Garrard, celebrating Victory Monday tomorrow.
Yes, we will.
We'll do Victory Tuesday with Jeff Lageman, Victory Wednesday with John Ogier, Victory Thursday with Mike DiRocco, and Victory Friday with Tom McManus. You can catch Jaguars Happy Hour tomorrow from 4 to 6 p.m. right here on 1010 XL on the AM side of things. We thank Donna Murphy. Excellent job today. Everybody over in London, we wish them safe travels on the way home. And enjoy. You got the rest of the day, folks.
Yeah.
I'm going to go chase a little white ball around for a few hours, Tony, myself.
I want to give big props to Tom McManus before we get out of here. Not only did he have the Jags at 11 on his confidence picks, right?
Like
but
11 out of like 13. That's like the third highest, most confident outcome he picked.
What a call from Tom McManus this week for the Jags' victory over the Bills. But he also said that, last week he had the breakfast that he made at home, and he thought that it was on him that they let it down a little bit against the Falcons. We said, well, you got to make another play at halftime, Tommy. So Tommy said, I'll do it. I'll take a picture of it. I'll send it out. We got pictures. You can go check it out on McManus's timeline, pre and halftime. We got the pictures of Tom McManus, his plate, as he was watching the Jags take down the Buffalo Bills.
All right, that's going to do it for us here again. Stick around for the fifth quarter. For Tony Smith and Donna Murphy, I'm Mike Dempsey. I'm going to race to the car so I can hear Leon say bad things about me right now. Enjoy the fifth quarter. Enjoy your Jaguar back-to-back victories in London, and celebrate Victory Week with us all week long right here on 1010 XL. Have a great one, everybody.